The General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, stands as one of the world's most robust and comprehensive frameworks for personal data protection. Enforced by the European Union since May 25, 2018, the GDPR replaced prior directives and set a new standard for how organizations handle the personal information of European citizens. Its fundamental purpose is twofold: to empower individuals with greater control over their personal data, and to harmonize the complex web of regulations that previously governed data processing across the EU member states. Yet, the reach of the GDPR extends far beyond Europe's borders, impacting any organization, regardless of its location, that processes the personal data of EU citizens. This global scope means that businesses everywhere must now contend with stringent requirements for privacy, transparency, and security. At the core of the GDPR are principles designed to ensure that personal data is treated with utmost respect and care. Transparency and fairness are paramount. Organizations must be clear, legal, and fair in how they collect, process, and share data. Data should only be gathered for specific, lawful purposes and never used for unrelated or undisclosed activities. The regulation insists that only the minimum amount of necessary data be collected, reducing the risk associated with excessive data hoarding. Accuracy is another cornerstone. Organizations are required to keep data up to date and to modify or delete information that is no longer correct or relevant. Storage limitations further reinforce data protection, mandating that information be retained only for as long as it serves its original purpose. Above all, security is non-negotiable. Personal data must be safeguarded against unauthorized access, disclosure, loss, or destruction. Finally, organizations must proactively demonstrate compliance, maintaining thorough documentation, policies, and processes that reflect their adherence to GDPR standards. The GDPR also enshrines a suite of rights for individuals, giving them unprecedented control over their personal information. The right to information ensures that people know how their data is being processed, by whom, and for what reasons. Individuals can request access to their stored data, seek corrections to inaccuracies, or demand the erasure of their information in certain situations, commonly referred to as the right to be forgotten. The regulation allows for the restriction of data processing under specific conditions and grants data portability, enabling individuals to transfer their data between service providers in a structured format. People have the right to object to data processing, particularly for direct marketing or activities pursued under the organization's legitimate interests. They are also protected from decisions made solely through automated processing, including profiling, ensuring that human oversight remains integral to consequential outcomes. For businesses, achieving and maintaining GDPR compliance is a complex undertaking. The challenge begins with a thorough evaluation and mapping of personal data within internal systems, identifying where data is stored, how it flows, and who has access. Organizations must develop or update privacy policies to align with GDPR requirements and train employees to recognize the importance of data security and privacy protocols. Consent management systems must be established so that individuals' permissions are accurately recorded and respected. Mechanisms for enforcing individual rights, such as handling data access requests, making corrections, or deleting data on demand, must be embedded into operational processes. Organizations need to prepare for incidents like data breaches, creating plans for prompt detection, reporting, and mitigation. Finally, they must be able to prove their compliance during audits or inspections, which requires meticulous documentation and readiness for external scrutiny. The stakes are high. Non-compliance can result in severe penalties, with fines reaching up to 20 million euros or 4% of global annual revenue, whichever is greater. To navigate these complexities, many organizations seek expert support through GDPR certification consulting services. These services offer a structured approach to compliance, beginning with a comprehensive assessment of the organization's current state. Consultants scrutinize existing data protection measures, identify gaps and vulnerabilities, and develop a tailored roadmap for achieving GDPR compliance. They assist in drafting and refining policies, procedures, and documentation, ensuring that every aspect of the business reflects a commitment to privacy and security. Technical solutions, such as data encryption, access management, network security, and end-to-end protection, are recommended and implemented to fortify defenses against cyber threats. Consultants also focus on cultivating a culture of awareness among employees, delivering targeted training that equips staff with the skills to handle personal data responsibly. Another critical aspect of GDPR certification consulting is preparing organizations for independent audits and assessments. Consultants guide businesses through the documentation and procedural requirements necessary to obtain certification from reputable bodies. They also help design and implement risk management strategies, ensuring that organizations can respond effectively to incidents such as data leaks or breaches. The benefits of engaging with GDPR certification consulting services are substantial. Legal compliance reduces exposure to costly fines and litigation, while a visible commitment to data protection enhances reputation and builds trust with customers and partners. Streamlined data management processes lead to greater operational efficiency, and the likelihood of data loss or leakage, and the associated financial and reputational damage, is minimized. Employees become more knowledgeable about privacy, security, and risk management, adding value to the organization as a whole. The consulting process typically unfolds in several stages. It starts with a status survey, where consultants evaluate the organization's existing systems, processes, and data flows to pinpoint weaknesses and risks. This is followed by compliance planning, where a detailed roadmap is developed to address identified gaps, implement necessary changes in technology and processes, and schedule employee training. The next phase is solution implementation, involving the deployment of technical upgrades, policy updates, and process improvements. Internal training and communication are prioritized to ensure that all employees understand the importance of GDPR and their roles in maintaining compliance. Consultants then conduct internal inspections and evaluations, simulating potential violations to test and enhance the organization's response capabilities. In preparation for certification, consultants assist with assembling documentation, refining processes, and liaising with independent certification bodies. Continuous monitoring is recommended to keep the data protection system up to date, adapt to legal changes, and respond to emerging risks. Ultimately, GDPR represents more than a regulatory requirement. It is a global benchmark for responsible data stewardship. For businesses, compliance is not just about avoiding penalties. It is about earning trust, safeguarding reputation, and competing effectively in an increasingly digital and interconnected world. GDPR certification consulting services offer invaluable guidance, expertise, and support, helping organizations build robust, sustainable systems for personal data protection that meet the highest standards demanded by law and by customers. By investing in these services, businesses can confidently protect personal data, demonstrate their commitment to privacy, and chart a successful course toward international recognition and competitiveness in the digital age. Contact support ISC Global Vietnam. Contact Representative Duke Luong Services Hotline +84 9330 96426 +84 868 591 260. Still email info.vietnam@iscglobal.asia, van.fam, iscglobal.asia, van.fam, isctvietnam.net, info, iscvietnam.net, dukeclongservices@gmail.com, website, www.iscglobal.asia, w.iscvietnam.net, w.to, cluongservices.com.